Your stream has started. Hey guys, it's the Tin Man here. Coming in to, see, this is me. Maybe I'll pull up my seat here. Put that back like that, I guess. Yeah. This live here will only last maybe 30 minutes because maybe even not 30 minutes. It might only be about 20 minutes. What I'm going to do is after this live, I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to come back and maybe continue on the live depending on how it goes. So we'll see what's all going down. Whoops. I just wanted to... It's a way to see if you guys are here or not. But anyways, maybe I push on that. There we go. So I got 2 viewers right now. Perfect. I pushed on my own face right there to be able to skip that. I don't need the 3 cents. So in this video is called Bigfoot Under Storm Lightning Conditions. May have input with blah blah blah. Okay? Actually, we can find out the name anyways. May have input
kind of a storm for us. I really believe so.
With a minor detail. With minor detail.
Not a storm chaser or watcher, but
what do you notice?
I really don't recognize this storm at all.
And there's a lot of people even commenting from different places that it seemed peculiar to them. Like different parts of the world. I guess they watch through it and stuff, and they also see a different, different things going on. It's not like I've broken right into the study of it. And this is a tough conversation for me to bring up. I've had to put up with a lot of ridicule. It doesn't...
Kind of out of the ordinary. You listen for me, man. My ears are shut.
So I'm just going to leave that going in the background there without any talking. What did I see there? Did you see a flash? Right in the center down low. There we go. You see that? That was, if you focused in on that and realized that where that was down around in here. And when we just seen that flash, see how low it is compared to the real sky through the shadowing of the trees there. Yeah, gives you a good effect there. That light there is from them. You see the color of it too. It's quite amber, I think. Diddy-doo's continuing on. Showing you that it was within the trees. There again. Is that me changing the camera around? Am I moving the camera right now?
You can kind of see about what I talk about for vehicles and stuff. Not much noise comes up here.
No, I did. So, I don't know. Maybe I was moving it at that in particular time too. Okay, there we are back with that. Okay, so now just to dump what we need to do in this lighting to try to figure out is these beings have an inner light ability. There's something about them that is obviously so supernatural special. So supernatural special. Within my first month or so... Hey, right on, Joe. Mark, how's it going? I'm doing good. I'm trying to break into the the newest realm on what we're going to learn about these beings. Hello, Anita. And so we're watching a storm here. And what I'm trying to get people to realize is these creatures have a light ability.
I gotta get my windows done up.
My mind goes crazy when I start to... I'm going to volume that down. My mind goes not crazy, but it goes just lights up with information when I start to... Bigfoot love the rain. Yeah, it sure seems like it, doesn't it? When I start to think about this. Anyways. So how many out there... Hello, Missy. How many out there can verify... Let's go with that. How many out there can verify that Bigfoot can do eye shine? Is there anybody out there who kind of in your work... Yep, from Anita. Okay, so I'm sure other people are going right now too, also, that they got a good feedback of eye shine. And then here's Anita also saying that she's seen it in my videos. Mid-South is saying, I've got many stills of eye shine, not to mention CCO. What does that mean? I'm picking up. And Missy's saying, yeah. Well, now there's a next step to that, actually, because it's actually not shine. It's actually glow. And the difference is what a shine is when we have our flashlight and we point it at you on video. Okay. And, oh, I see. I got you. I should have figured that out. Anyways, when we use a flashlight, we use any kind of light or whatever, directed or whatever type thing. That is the flash, that light is going to be able to pick up off anything that has a shine. So if there's a piece of metal or a mirror over there or whatever that might be reflecting some shine off of it and so on and so forth, that very well can be is a way that we can reflect and understand it and so on and so forth. Well, I do tons of my work at night, a lot of it, and I never use flashlights. Very rarely have I ever used a flashlight. I've seen during the daytime the glow. Okay, there we go. Mark's saying that he sees it during the daytime. The glow. And he's seen it. Anyways, so what I'm saying then, yeah, I'm trying to get people to focus that it's glow. Get away from that it's some kind of a sheen, a shine, anything like that. I want people to even go to the extent of realizing the shapes when they see orbs. Personally, I'm going to go with orbs aren't real. Probably don't even exist. They're probably bugs like we see when we see bugs. Or I've seen somebody, in his bedroom or whatever, and some fluff is floating around at night or whatever type thing. It just looks like it illuminates a little bit and stuff like that. Because especially bring this into it, that a person who is doing this, filming, and they're saying, oh, I see an orb. You see the orb over there, and so on and so forth. Take into consideration also if they have their light on their camera or off on their camera. So if they have a light on their camera at all, I would say that almost just flattens. It makes even the conversation almost no good. But if they have no lights on at all, then it keeps the conversation good. Now, within that orb, you see color changes. People talk about it. I've seen it many times. I've seen it just on somebody else's video here recently, a number of days back there. Tried to put a hint across that, trying to get her to dig inside her mind. And I could see that she's, a lot of us are stuck on all the surface things we know. We know a lot of surface stuff. We know how our car works and all that kind of stuff, and to turn on this and start it up and drive it down the road and everything like that. And that's all the surface that we know, unless you've gotten into the mechanics or you're inclined to go there and stuff like that. And even then, you're going to have to figure out a lot of stuff maybe to really understand what really makes it go and how to even service it or anything like that. I'm getting carried away here. So anyways, I don't know where I just blasted off a little bit off a subject, or not off a subject, but just, I want to get back into here. So, the difference in colors and such, I see them all the time now because I really know how to play these guys. I really know how to play them very well. If playing is a proper word. Playing might not be a proper word. Maybe I'm just that kind of a hostess for them, that they're willing to, or maybe they're being that kind of a host for me in their areas. One thing about it is I get a lot of interactions, I really do, and it's just incredible, you guys. It really is incredible. It's mind-blowing. It's hardly a percentage I put on filming. And one thing about it is, and all the time, it almost seems like in a way they still think they're fooling me. So I don't know how much they're so absorbed by the mimic of life that they live, because they really do live a mimic. Here I'm trying to tell you, in part, that in that light show within that storm, they're mimicking some of the light. What we can do, because we can analyze things, we can look and we can understand certain types of legitimate electrical lightning stuff that's been going on for 100 years. Where we've really been recording it, and it's always this style, and this one's always this style, this one's always this style, this one's always this style, and so on and so forth. So now if a new level comes in, it's something that we have to newly think. And, there's a lot of stuff going on with this lightness, that people are kind of, you're over in Russia and they're filming or whatever, all of a sudden the sky just lights up or something, and then it just stops. Different things. And if we think of the pureness of the light, I think a lot of times it's probably a very clear white light that they're using that is happening. And there's people even believing that somebody's creating it. The government, I would not, I bet you the government is so fooled by what I'm talking about right now also. Anyways, also to do with that Iranian little bit of a battle they had with that white light that's zipping around. He turns sideways a couple of times, gives us a couple of different profiles, gives us an end profile so we can look at him from the front, the end, so on and so forth. We get to really understand that. And we probably could slow that down and watch clear enough to see if the bullets actually do at all go through this light or anything like that. Because if we get to see that, then we get to understand another level right there. Or another piece of information. All these things are so big, they're like levels of information. Because we really haven't been talking about these things. Those Iranian guys were terrified, and that's part of the reason why I'm throwing the word terrified out there. Because part of what will happen is there's going to be people that will die because they're terrified. There's already people who die because they're terrified that somebody's following them right now. They're in the forest there, they're in this darkish area, and somebody's making such weird noises. I'm terrified. I'm going to a level further away. I end up starving to death, whatever it is. I hide myself to death, and starvation comes in so much because I'm so terrified. I fall into the water, I drown, whatever it is, I fall off of the cliff, whatever. It's still being terrified to death. And that's part of it, if you can see the story of it. There's lots of stuff out there where people come and tell you, I had this scary story that happened, but I still get to be alive. And it's because how much physicalness do they really put upon us? Is there going to be more than one real significant group or groups? So when you look at that storm, or your storm, next one that's happening, and there's trees, and say you're in this area where there's the big foliage of trees there and stuff like that. Show that you're really amazed about the storm too, and see if that can trigger the influence. Because this is part of what I do with these guys, is I trigger with my emotions sometimes, so I don't always do it on camera. My interest is so fascinated by what's going on right now. Will you feed me more information? You know, almost like that. Weird of an exaggeration. But in that way. And I've gotten that storm there, the night before that storm, I got a light show, and I swear it happened a number of times, probably around 6 times, something like that. I'm losing the thought of it. It's in here, but it's really insignificant in some realms of it. It's just kind of like, you go out there and you'll be able to figure it out on storm night and stuff like that, I'm sure, maybe. Especially if you're in a healthy tree area. You're in any healthy tree area, which many of us people who are at all looking at this are around. That's a sign of them too. The healthiness, they love the healthiness. It's part of their job. It's part of what they're doing. So imagine them up in the trees here, and the storm's going off, and they're going with light that is controlled in a way. Okay, that they don't even hit the trees or whatever. They can either get around it, or they're already on the other side of the trees, so they're in a setting where they're not going to illuminate the leaves. And lots of people kind of get what I'm talking about when I'm talking about illuminated leaves and illuminated trees too, because there's lots of people who I know, probably even here, that register with that. They're sitting there looking in the forest, and they're like, why does that area look so like lit up, and like, is the moon back there? You know, what's going on? And stuff like that. And you're just getting a little bit of an eye trippy show, maybe. And if that wasn't, what I'm telling to you right now is they do that, so you can add that in your file of your exploration. Lots of times, a lot of the stuff that helps me for my depths is pretty much just coming from the encyclopedia, is it not? So that's what I'm kind of talking in some way. I've done these steps with my encyclopedia out there in the forest. You guys try to copy them. Copy my rock techniques that I talk when I talk about the rocks. When I talk about the trees and the bark design and stuff like that, just don't just stop at a wound I show and I say, see these claw marks, and now they got these different angular, it's coved and it's not like a real knife and all that kind of stuff. Realize that takes you deeper right into the bark design. I don't say bark design, go look at the bark design. See, when you see some new, fresh stuff in there, scratch your head and think to yourself, okay, the way the tree has actually got those threads all tying in down in there, and I can see through into this fresh wood. Is that really the tree splitting itself and going and exposing all that? Or is maybe they're a bit of an artist who knows how to carve different looks in the upper layers of the bark, or as all the system is how the system is being fooled to us over years of growth, and it's just that valley. They end up being valleys, and they're valley diggers, and the Australian lady said they've known that for tens of thousands of years, that these beings dig valleys. They dig them in the trees too. We got valleys inside of our body. We got food that runs through all these different things in our body. Our body is an enclosed structure in a way, just like Earth is an enclosed structure, and we're so much like Earth. And these beings' work is so much Earth related. I can see how we're related. They make paths. You know, I just showed you at the mall here where I came around the corner. It had to do with the great big bin being, the bin right here that gets moved. I guess I could show you, but whatever, I'm having a good time. And I film on this video here near the, the second half or something, 3 stages of sidewalk, where I swear to you, they're not pressure washing around here and so on and so forth and coming and leaving a big section looking dirty. And another thing I didn't point out on that, look at all the rust degree of coloration in that. And go all around your city, you'll have lots of rust degree coloration that it just looks like it's being spread all over the ground and stuff. These guys just... Uh-oh. Am I still live, guys? That. Oh, looks like I'm still alive then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this right now. And I'm going to say, I'm going to come back in a little while and we're going to keep talking. So this is part 1 of part 2. And I'm getting around to stuff, I feel guilty going slow. I feel guilty taking a long time getting it out. I see not a lot of people connecting. I see some people connecting. I don't see a lot of people really getting into an urgency connection where somehow they're just starting a video channel based on this. Based on showing a couple of my videos and saying, let's see what Tin Man's talking about here. I think he's talking about this. What are you thinking? You might grow beyond what my channel gets to because of my stages of capability. So I'm looking for capable people because we need to get this information worldwide because the terror comes, right? There is a preparation. Do I think they're preparing for something? So I might just cut off here, guys, in the midst of things. Oh, where did that thing go? I can't even get it to come up. How come is that? Now I see why people complain about that. But do I... No. But we need to be prepared. The prepared word is non-existence with them. The formula like that of how we understand like that might be non-existent. They might not really have plans. They just go. So we'll see you soon. And awesome questions. I'll be back and I'm going to say about a half an hour, it's 3:30. I'll be back at between 4 and 4:30. Thanks so much and I hope you can make it back. You're welcome, Missy, and everybody else. I know I could read the things, but you know how it is. Sorry if that's